Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about building out additional airflow or adding more volume to our farm here. We just got all of our 2x4s and plywood and all that, so we can start building out our filtration system here. Now we're going to be adding more volume. I'll be talking about exactly why we're doing that and how that's going to be done in today's video. So if you guys are interested in that, you know what to do. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel. You guys don't want to miss our videos. We release more and more from this farm. We also have our New York site video also on our channel here, so check out that. And we have hosting available. So if you want to host with us, we have hosting at 7.5 cents in the United States, in New York, in Nebraska. We also have hosting available in Russia at 5.8 cents. So you want to save some power, right? Save some electric expenses. You can host with us in Russia. That's going to be 5.8. That's 100% load, meaning that your miners are run at basically like 95 to 100% uptime, and you can run them at 100% load or low power mode. But if you want to save even more, we do have another option available in Russia, and that's going to be hosting with us at 5 cents, and that's going to be at 70% uptime. So there's curtailments there, so they turn off the farm during the daytime on the weekdays, certain amount of hours. So if you count up all those hours, weekends they run 24/7, but on weekdays, if you count up those hours, your uptime is 70%, and you are at 5 cents, all in kWh. So make sure you guys check out our site, cryptollc.org, send us an email, get in touch with us, and we can get you set up there hosting in Russia at that cheap rate. All right, back to the video. Oh, before we get started, before I forget, Bitcoin saves your wealth, and Jesus Christ saves your soul. All right, let's go into the video. So, we got all our materials here, and we're talking about how we're going to build it out. So we got these PT boards. These ones don't rot, or they take forever to rot, by the way. Our old filtration system here, it's going in the garbage. But how we're going to be building it out is we're going to have this extend. We're going to just imagine there's a box here. It's going to extend this way up to the roof here, all the way down. So about 3 feet down here. It's going to extend 4 feet this way from that container, 4 feet. It's going to go up to the roof right there. It's also going to act as like a little support for the roof. It's going to go up to the roof. As you can imagine, that box, 3 feet that way, 4, it goes all the way down to the other side of the container, and also extends that way a little bit. And it's going to go all the way up to the top. And we're going to have that wall built, and then put that filtration system, a new one, and just going to nail it on or staple it on to these 2x4s. Now, what that's going to do is going to allow more volume. So instead of having the filter right here, right, it used to be right here, and it worked just fine for the winter time. But now that it's summertime, we need to extend the volume, and allows the mining container to breathe as if there was no filtration system there. So as of right now, you can see there's no filter. There is no rain, there is no pollen or anything, because it's basically middle of summer. There is nothing flying around. It's not fall when you have a bunch of leaves flying around. So it's nice and clean inside. And we have it like this for probably like a week until we get our filtration on here. So it's gonna take some time, but it's totally fine. Don't worry about the miners, they're fine. If you have it open like this for years and years, that's when you have a problem, especially during the winter time. That's when you're gonna have a lot of humidity going in there. And then springtime, when you have all the pollen and all the leaves, like fall leaves, that's when you have all that bad stuff going in. But right now it's fine. Anyway, we're gonna have that built out. So the volume will increase dramatically. We got that extension here. So you can imagine that huge extension, that large, and that's gonna filter out all of that stuff, especially when we get to fall time, with those leaves all swishing around, flying around, trying to get in, but they can't. They just get stuck in the filter. So that's the idea, and we have that already built out for one of our other farms. If you watch our previous videos, you'll see that farm there, and it has that filtration box built. Works out great, been working for years and years. It's really, really nice filtration system. The miners are nice and clean. None of the leaves get in, the pollen doesn't get in, even like tiny little flies, tiny little gnats and stuff like that, even that stuff doesn't get in. So we're gonna do the same thing for this container. we're gonna do the same thing for this container, and we're gonna do the same thing for that container. And all this material will be spent building out all of these boxes, right? So for this container, it's gonna be a little bit different. As you can see, we do not have a, we don't have like a roof that's right on the container. The roof is metal here. So it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna have 2x4s extend and screwed into this metal stud. And then we're gonna have another two 2x4s here, 1, 2, between each of these two studs. So we wanna keep the 2x4s at about 16 inches apart from each other. And the reason for that is because once these suctions, well, right now they're mining basically, but when they're all on and it's fully loaded, like right now, you're gonna have a decent suction on that filtration system. So if you have 2x4s only split out by like 2 feet or 4 feet, that might be too big of a gap, and so you'll have like the filter just bend in like this as it's trying to suck the air. So you gotta put them at 16 apart, and then you'll be fine. So in the wintertime, you're not gonna have that issue. In the wintertime, the filter is gonna be basically just barely hanging there. It's gonna be almost falling off because the miners are all spinning at like 20–30% during the wintertime. So the suction is so much less. But right now it's summertime, so the suction is at 100% max capacity here, getting as much air into those miners as possible. Now, we purposefully have the volume increased for our clients here. Like, we do this on purpose. And the reason for that is we want our miners, for our clients, to run at 100% efficiency throughout the year. So if we restrict the airflow, like if we didn't do this, and we just had the filter on, just right on the container, the airflow will be restricted significantly, and the miners will all be running at 100% fan speed, no matter what, other than nighttime. And so the efficiency on the miners will be a lot less because the chip temperatures will then be like 85, 90 on those miners during the daytime. And so, and even some of them will turn off because they would overheat. So we are fixing this issue now, right? When it got hotter and hotter during the summertime, because we got to make sure that our clients' miners run at 100% efficiency. And as you can see, we removed the filter to allow that to happen right now. Before we had like a thicker filter on there on the containers. Then we removed a layer of it because it's 2 layers together. We removed 1 layer from that filter to allow more airflow. That helped a lot actually. That allowed them to run really, really great, you know, when it's like 80 degrees. But now that it's getting to like 90, 100, you know, and so on, that one filtration system is not good enough. Technically, you could still run it, you know, it runs fine with that thinner filter right on the container. But we got to make sure that our clients get the best of the best, right? And the best of the best for our clients is to build out that volume box to allow more volume to go in there. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to build out that volume box, and then we'll have no issues at all. Doesn't matter how hot it gets, doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees, if it's 110, whatever, they'll keep running just fine. But by the way, at 110, you know, any full blast miners will not be able to handle that. So if you're running like S21s, we have some S21s right there. You see them stacked. And we got some K5s right there running, some L7s. We got L7s up there in that corner. So when it's 110, obviously those miners will not be able to handle that. So we have profile switching. So the profile will then kick in and take down the miner's speed. So then you can continue to mine with us, right? Your miner's not gonna just turn off because it overheated. It'll continue to mine, it'll just mine slower. So that's one way you can go around that issue. But right now, all the miners are basically at 100% load, all of them. The only miners that have that profile switching kick in is gonna be the L7s up there and the S21s, because you know it's hard for them to mine at 100% load when it's not 100 degrees outside. It's just too hard for them. So they gotta go knock down some profiles there. But everything else is fine. Everything else is in low power mode, so they're all doing just fine. You know, their fan speeds are like 80%, 90% with 55C or 60C on the chip. So it's really, really, really good results there. But yeah, so that's today's video, talking about building out that box. So once it's done, once I get like one of these boxes going, it's got our tech here, it's gonna install the box for us. Once it's installed, I'll make another video and show you guys how it looks from the inside, from the outside, and show you guys around the box. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys like it. You know what to do, like, subscribe. And that's going to be it for this one. Until next time, goodbye.